What's up, everyone? It's Trainer Del. This video for you, I have my Melodious deck profile. Now, this profile is basically the cookie cutter deck version that you've basically seen ever, but thank you so much for stopping by and watching my deck profile. So don't forget to click that link down below if you want any of these cards for your own deck or collection. And yeah, help just support the channel and everything. Another thing I want to do is thank you, Konami. Here's Zuzu with Bloom Diva. Thank you, Konami, for making one of the female lead decks actually good, like viable. I really like when a deck isn't like broken, but it's pretty strong and it has cool plays. And this deck used to just be like special Aria maybe, and then do some other stuff and sit on it. But now this deck is a little more aggro in the sense of like doing plays and doing things and setting up and combos, and it's just it's really cool. So thank you, Konami, for creating support like this, and I hope you get more, you do more support, like viable support, like I guess like the Chimera, right? What is it, the Chimera, the like Gazelle stuff, like where it's strong but not like overly broken. I like that a lot, where it's just you have a lot of decks that are playable. We got Refrain 3, the Melodious Songstress. So, you know, it's a pendulum monster, one of the new cards. Definitely a 3 of. And if this card is normal or special summon, then you can add a Melodious monster from your deck to hand, except for itself. And if a Melodious fusion monster is special summon to your field while this card is face up in your extra deck, except during the damage step, then you can place it in your pendulum zone. And its pendulum zone effect is you can target one Melodious fusion monster you control, send one Melodious monster from your deck to graveyard, and if you do, the target monster gains attack equal to the level of that monster times 200. So yeah, the pendulum effect is like whatever, but I mean power boost isn't too bad, I guess, in Yu-Gi-Oh. Couplet 3 of. I'm fine with the 3 of. Thought about 2 sometimes, but I think 3 is fine too. And if this card is added to your hand, except by drawing it, then you can reveal it and special summon one level 4 lower Melodious monster from your hand or graveyard. And it has like the same thing of effect as a Refrain, which is like if this is face up in your extra deck when you do a fusion monster of Melodious, like a Melodious fusion monster summon, except during the damage step, then you can place this in your pendulum zone. And this has the better pendulum zone effect, where you cannot pendulum summon monsters except for light monsters, and if you do, you do not control any face-up monsters other than Melodious monsters, you can add one Melodious spell / trap card from your deck to your hand, which we only really have the one target, which is why, like, I don't know, 2 would be okay, but you know, I like seeing it 3. I'm playing 3 Sonata because for the extenders, she's also not once per turn and gives a boost of 500 attack and defense for all your fairy type monsters when this is when it's special summoned. So it's pretty cool. Just an extender. 2 of the Soprano. This can just help you. When this card is special summon, you can target one Melodious monster from your graveyard, accept itself, and add it to your hand, so you can like recur some stuff. And you can only use that effect once per turn. Once per turn, you can fusion summon one Melodious fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion, including this. So again, has some extending plays. And then we have like the little one-ofs, like Aria, who used to be my favorite in the deck. So Aria is here. When it's special summoned, when this special summon card is on the field, Melodious monsters cannot be targeted by card effects or be destroyed by battle. So help some stalling tactics there. Solo helps you, if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. And when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Melodious monster from your deck. So we got do Aria or even Refrain. We got Cannon. This is kind of like Sonata, except she you have to control a Melodious monster, special summon from this hand, but you can only do it once per turn. And then once per turn, you can target one Melodious monster you control, changes battle position. I don't know how much that comes up, but it's there. And then Sulpina, the Melodious Maestra. We have her because of the Maestra name, Maestra. Once per turn, you can target one light fairy type monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand, and you can't activate non-light effects during the turn you activate this. So yeah, just there. It's a Maestra. It can help recur things that we need if they get sent to the graveyard and don't end up in the pendulum zone. Or pick up back our extenders or to fusion summon and stuff. So yeah, First movement solo. I honestly don't think card is super necessary. It obviously is another good starter to get out Refrain, to start combos. It locks you into Melodious. So yeah, if you control no monsters, special summon one level 4 or lower Melodious monster from your hand or deck. You only do this once per turn. And yeah, special summon monsters during your turn. Cannot activate the effects except for Melodious monsters. So you can still special summon, but just it kind of pseudo locks you in effect wise. But yeah, it's just there. I suggest, unless you're gonna be playing in like high level tournaments or whatever, I still don't think you need this card. That's just my opinion. That's just what I'm gonna say right there. But if you want to get it, obviously buy it using my TCG player link. You know, Ostinato. Oh man, this card kind of went up, but it's kind of back down a bit. But I think Ostinato definitely is like a 3 of. You definitely want to see this. If you control no monsters, you can fusion summon one Melodious fusion monster from your extra deck using 2 monsters from your hand and or deck as fusion materials. So like the Shadal fusion, Branded fusion, stuff like that. During the end phase of this turn, destroy the fusion monster. The monster fusion summon this way. And if you do, all the fusion materials that were used for fusion summon are in your graveyard, you can special summon all of them. But because we're like doing like extra plays and stuff, that really doesn't matter. The destruction effect of it, we're gonna like link it off or use it off to do some other plays. So yeah, I'm playing 3 Pot of Prosperity. I just want to see my starters. I just want to see Refrain. I want to see first movement solo. I want to see Ostinato. Another thing about Ostinato is it's not once per turn. So if they like Ash Blossom it or whatever, you can still do it again. So I just want to see it. I don't care if I have one in hand and I try to use this as bait. That's just what I'm gonna do. But yeah, Pot of Prosperity, banish 3 or 6, reveal cards. Yeah, Juno Prosperity. 1 Melodious Concerto. Fusion summon 1 fairy fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand, field, and or pendulum zones. And if a Melodious fusion monster is sent to your graveyard while this card's in your graveyard, or even during the damage step, you can place this card on the bottom of your deck, then draw a card. Only use it once per turn. So this is like the only card that we search off with Couplet. Maybe I'll bump it up to 2. I'm still seeing how this deck runs. I haven't played it at locals yet. This has all just been like my own stuff, like watching people play it and learning the deck, and I want to see it for myself. But most likely, eventually, it'll turn to like a normal, fun, like anime-inspired deck. But until then, let's try it out and learn. We got Called by the Grave. It's Called by the Grave to help stop hand traps. I don't know how I would make space. Maybe remove a Sonata. Maybe remove a Pot of Prosperity and add into cross out designators. Maybe, but then I'll have to change up the hand trap lineup. And as you can see, the hand trap lineup, one of the reasons this deck is so busted, in my opinion, and what a lot of, not even my own opinion, a lot of people believe, is because it has access to Herald of Orange Light, because these are all basically fairies. We can then use Herald of Orange Light, and I make a joke with my friends when we play Edison that like, I think hand traps ruin the game in Modern sometimes, but heck, I use this in my fairy deck. I do use Herald. It's so funny. So I have it there. Ash Blossom. It's Ash Blossom. Feck Veiler. It is the Veiler, and then Infinite Impermanence. So because the main deck is kind of easy with the little engine that we have, at least in the pure build, we're playing more. You can just run a bunch of hand traps and get away with it in this deck. You can put a Zuzu right here. For the extra deck, playing Baka, the Melodious Maestra. Just, yeah. While you control this fusion summon card, the activated effects of your Melodious fusion monsters cannot be negated. You can only use one effect. You can only use each of the following effects of Baka once per turn. If this card is special summon, you can special summon 1 Melodious monster from your deck. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Melodious monster in your graveyard. Special summon defense mode. So yeah, because we're going to be sending this to the graveyard, like we want to bring this out first to start our plays. You know, we want Baka through Ostinato, through whatever else, to bring this out. It gets plays to bring out like the Maestra, so then we can do other fusion summons. Aria to protect our stuff from being destroyed or targeted. or whatever, or even like refrain if we haven't used its effect to like search couplet, you know, if we fuse with other things. But most of the time we fuse with those. I'm running 3 Schuberta. Most lists just do 2, but right now I don't have like SP Little Knight, so obviously you can take one out for SP Little Knight if you want to. But it's really cool. During either player's turn, you can target up to 3 cards in any graveyards, banish them, and if you do, this card gains 200 for each card, and it can only use once per time it's face up on the field, which they printed new synergy, so it's a cool DD Crow with a power boost. But they created some new synergy. Obviously, Flowering Etoile, the Melodious Magnificent. So this needs 1 Melodious Maestra and 2 Melodious monsters, which isn't really too hard. But quick effect, you can banish until the end phase any number of Melodious monsters you control. Then you can turn up to that many face-up cards your opponent controls to the hand. So it's like blinking your field to banish or to bounce cards back to your opponent. It's pretty cool. And you can only use this effect of Flower Etoile once per turn. If this face-up fusion monster is in the owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect or card, you can special summon 1 Melodious monster from your deck or extra deck except itself. So the cool thing is you can send, if you have Schuberta on the field still and you get this out, you can banish stuff from your opponent's graveyard, banish our stuff, and then bring this back because it is a quick effect, and banish more things. So pretty cool. Just 1 Bloom Prima. Sadly, she's not a Maestra. She uses a Maestra. She needs some cards, but eh. And then Bloom Diva, Melodious Choir. Just one of this. It's a cool little other boss monster. Obviously, it's in the art here as Zuzu's boss monster. Cool thing, I believe, is obviously Baka and Schuberta are Maestras as well. So they can, you know, help go into that. And these need a Maestra too. This needs also a Maestra and Melodious. So they all help each other out. The more you extend and do fusion summons. 1 Bloom Harmonist, the Melodious Composer. I've been thinking about adding in the second one, especially since I don't really play the rest of the other extra deck cards, but you know, they're just kind of here just in case. But yeah, 2 fairy monsters in this link. When this card is link summoned, you can discard a card special in 2 Melodious monsters with different levels from your deck to your zones that this points to. So that's why a lot of it is 4. I believe Sonata's 3, so that's why I don't mind having 3 of her. And then she's obviously 6 or 7. 7? She's 7, so it doesn't really matter. It just has to be different levels. So yeah, that's why she's here. And then yeah, you can special summon monsters the turn you activate this effect except Melodious monsters, and so it helps, you know, you can bring out Refrain as well. And then yeah, once per turn, if a Melodious monster this card points to attacks, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So make them little Utopia Lightnings. And then this is just kind of like generic stuff that I, you know, see in other people's extra decks. So, you know, we got Haggard Lizardos, Gravity Controller. Oh, I guess this should go first. Gravity Controller, Lizard Overdose, Beyond the Pendulum, and Baguska, because if we get stopped or stuff happens, like I said, there's a bunch of 4, and we can just go for the rank 4 play. Put in defense mode, and even though some cards say like their activated abilities don't activate during your turn, because we're sitting on Baguska in defense mode, when we pass to our opponents, its effect then becomes live, I believe. Let me know down below if that's wrong, but that's how I believe it works. Like I said, I haven't taken this to locals yet. I've been watching a lot of people play it. It looks really cool. And again, thanks Konami making some support for a deck that really didn't do much and hasn't done much, and now it gets a few tops here and there. And it's cool to see. It's cool to see. Please do something for Taya. Do something for who else is it? I mean, Alexis, I guess. Alexis has had good cards. Black Rose got support, but I don't think it's great support. It's just good. But man, make a Tori, make Tori have crazy cool cards and make her a new Xyz monster and Xyz package, and somehow, some way OTK with it, just like the Yuma stuff. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Peace.